So, Professor Deepak, we can start. I think people will join in between. So, dear participant, we have Professor Deepak with us. He's professor at Triple IT Lucknow as well as Jaipuria Institute of Management. So, he is a great innovator, I can say. So, I am handing over the session to you, Deepak sir. You can start now.
Yeah, can you give me rights of screen
Sure.
sharing, please?
Okay.
So in between, welcome all participants in this innovative, you can say, topic in ATAL FDP. I haven't seen any topic which is so innovative like Dr. Pritam combined. Initially, I thought why is he combining design thinking and 3D manufacturing, but after some time when I've explored, I've talked to my mentee. So I'm mentoring currently. I'm mentoring around 10 startups in India. So apart from that, I'm in board of several companies. So they are also working on the same thing. So I will introduce myself in a brief, but these things told me that, yeah, this is a very pertinent topic in nowadays. And you all are very lucky you are going through this topic and in these times when it's very necessary. And in coming times, you will see that definitely you are going to refer all the materials, all the PPTs which are discussed here in this because this design thinking, additive manufacturing is coming in a big way, not only in industries, but also in startups, also in education. So I will tell you the use cases of education also. So after few months, 3 or 6 months in India also, you will see that everybody is starting using that and everybody is searching for resource person who are trained into that. And lucky you all are going through training in this field and domain. So definitely it will be very useful. Let me share my screen, then I will start with a brief introduction of mine. So Dr. Pritam, can you see that? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So thanks for nice introduction by Dr. Pritam, and thanks for very short and sweet introduction. So let me tell you why I'm taking this session and what's the agenda of this session. So before telling the agenda of this session, let me tell you why I'm relating, why I'm related to this, and why I'm very much supportive with this type of topics. So I started, apart from being visiting faculty in Triple IT Lucknow and several other colleges, several other premium institutions in India, and also in Jaipuria. So apart from this, I'm also an entrepreneur. So I'm doing my own business. We are working with several companies and some governments also. We are also associated with the UP government. In fact, we are also associated with a small association related to IIA, and UP government is also a part of that. We are trying to develop a drone for agriculture purposes. So there requires a lot of thought process. There requires a lot of analysis. There requires a lot of brainstorming. What are the design? What is the design we are going to use? What's the algorithms we are going to use? So I started working on that. My background is in AI. I have a PhD in artificial intelligence from IIT Kanpur. So I've done a lot in AI. I've done a lot in ML. I've published several papers. I have some patents in that. But when we were talking about drone, I thought it's a little bit different concept. And designing a drone specifically for agriculture purposes, so that farmers can use it well without lot of technical knowledge, technical know-how. The drone will definitely be autonomous, so that it can do its purpose, analyze the fields, analyze all the details which we want. So there we started thinking about this design thinking. Can we go for a design thinking approach? And yes, lot of different consultants help us a lot, including Mr. Utkarsh, who is very helpful in that process. So we started designing the drone as per the design thinking methodology. And I think everyone, I hope everyone understands Hindi here. So I will, when I was discussing with some senior fellow in IIA, they said that what's the process you are going to follow specifically for designing a drone which is there for farmers. Farmers कैसे उड़ा पाएंगे? There was a simple question कि किसान drone कैसे उड़ाएगा? कैसे उड़ाएगा? So I told them कि we have a concept of design thinking which take care of empathy also. I think you all have gone through that. And they said कि sir ये सब theory होता है and it will not work. But we started working on that. And after some time, it showed us very good results. So that's my personal case study I'm talking about. And from there, I started my journey towards design thinking. And I studied a lot. I've discussed a lot with several consultants and several professors which are there in that field. So after designing that drone, yeah, we were expert in electronics and AI, but how to make that drone? So if we took that design and went to market, we want to design that. So everybody said कि भाई China से मंगा लो. We are in a Hindi language region, so we went to Delhi, of course, and we went to several manufacturers who are not so much educated. So उनसे सबने कहा भाई China से मंगा लो. What's the meaning of why China से मंगा लो? Why China? So they said कि they have some ready to use design. They said they have some ready to use modules. So we said कि we have designed this from scratch. We have thought about that. We have modules. Why can't we design it in India? So they said कि it will take a lot when you will create modules. So if you have some mechanical engineers over there, if we know how we manufacture things, so we need molds to do all the manufacturing if you are using injection molding or some different methods. So they said that the molds will cost a huge. So the molds will cost around 1.5 lakh and 2 lakh, and you are planning a drone of 30,000-40,000, and you are not going beyond 4 or 5 pieces of that. So that's not very useful method. So we start searching the market. What are the other manufacturing methods? So we got an idea somewhere. Okay, you can buy a 3D printer and you can start working on that. So additive manufacturing, that's also a very new thing for us. So I started working on additive manufacturing. So in that journey, I came to know that design thinking or additive manufacturing, or maybe some more technologies which I will discuss, definitely they are related to a bigger umbrella, bigger banner named as 4 Industrial Revolution related texts. And in that 4 Industrial Revolution related texts, this design thinking and 3D printing are the crossroads. So definitely they meet and they solve a lot of purposes over there. So I started discussing this thing. Yeah, that's a very niche field. Why can't we combine that? And industry said that we are already doing that. So you are not very new to this market. Sorry, you are not telling something new. So we are already doing that. So I started studying them. How are they doing that? I got some case studies, some very interesting case studies, not only of US or Europe, what normally people quote, but also of India. And I will show you that everybody is using that. Only one problem is there, and that's an opportunity for all of you. Skilled manpower, skilled resource are not available. So if you are trained in design thinking, if you know how to apply design thinking, 3D printing industries, definitely you are a hot cake for industries. Every industry, just promote yourself. Every industry will come to you just for the sake of consultancy. So a lot of startups approach me. We need consultancy on these domains. I simply said them no, because I don't have so much time. My interest, my hobby areas are teaching and maybe some part of consultancy, but in fact, a grassroots innovation, you can say. So I'm not very keen in consulting those startups or those industries. So they are a very big or huge opportunity is there for all the faculties who have joined this session. That's why, again, I will thank Dr. Preetham. He has thought something different, a different topic specifically for this FDP, and that it's going to be one of the most innovative topic, I think, in the ATAL FDP. So that's a small background of mine, and why I have thought this process, or why I have gone through this process of design thinking and 3D printing. So now, on the basis of my experience, so I have in this field I have around 4 or 5 years experience. I have total around 15 years of experience in industry, but in this field only 4 or 5. So you can say by the virtue of that experience, I have designed the agenda of today's session. So I will try to make my interest in my session interactive, but that's all obviously depends upon you. You can ask questions from me. You can stop me any point of time in my PPT. You can ask questions, and definitely we can discuss all these things, because discussion is a very key factor here. Apart from these very less number of slides, and I don't have material of more than, you can say, 45 minutes or 1 hour. I have some experience which I want to share. So if you'll ask something, definitely I will explore that. I will tell you that maybe sometime I need to, I also need to study, but I will definitely answer you all, answer you that related, answer you all the questions related to these three fields specifically. So the agenda is, I will start with a basic introduction of fourth industrial revolution. I think everybody here is thinking now there's an introduction of a new topic, but it's not like that. This design thinking or additive manufacturing or any IoT, cloud, everything on which we are currently working on are related to 4IR tech. So it's a very big concept. That's why I'm discussing that. And after that, I will give you a brief introduction of design thinking, and Utkarsh taught you that, and I know he's much better than me. But even then, I will try to revisit it so that I can relate that. I will also discuss a little bit of additive manufacturing. Again, Mr. Rajesh has gone through that. I think that topic, and he's expert on that, no doubt about that. But I will try to revisit that so that I can relate that also with my session. So I will try to discuss fourth industrial revolution. I will try to discuss design thinking, and I will try to discuss additive manufacturing in brief. But the major part of my session will focus on that sweet spot which is there in between these three. So I will try to discuss. I will try to focus on this spot. So this is my target, you can say. So I'm already doing target practice here. So this is my target, and here I will focus. And I think that's the key which you also should focus after learning all these technologies, specifically how industries are using that. So I will start with brief introduction of this. After that, I will try to connect 4IR with design thinking and additive manufacturing. I will also tell you how industries are using that. Specifically, I will discuss about three specific domains: startups, manufacturing, and education. Yes, education also, that's an important part, and how education is using that. You will definitely be surprised to see that how education is also using this. So specifically, if I'm focusing on use cases, I will focus on manufacturing and education, and also on a startup. I think I missed that in use cases, but yes, startup. In fact, some of the Indian startups in which I am also contributing. So let's start with 4IR, and let's see what is this. So I think most of you know what's 4IR. Can anybody answer what's the 4IR? What's the fourth industrial revolution? I think slide is in front of you. But even then, any answers related to this? Anyone?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, for Industry 4.0 is related to automation, use of robotics, additive manufacturing, CAD and CAM technologies, so
That's
maximum automation can be achieved.
Okay, that's great. So I was going to propose a chocolate. I will send you chocolate to the right answers, but I think Chinmay answered before that, so my chocolate is saved, I think. So anyway, Chinmay is very much right. And the key thing here is cyber physical system. So in Industry 4.0, we are trying to add that tech, online tech or automation tech with the physical system. So anything which is related to cyber physical. For example, we are talking about IoTs. So IoTs, what IoTs do? IoTs try to deploy sensors on our physical systems and make it internet ready, or you can say throw the data on internet. So that's a cyber physical system. So Industry 4.0 can be defined in 2 words: cyber physical system, or you can say 3 words specifically: cyber physical system. So in Industry 1.0, they have started with mechanization, steam power, etc. In Industry 2.0, the mass production idea was there. So automation started in Industry 3.0, and now we are dealing about automation plus how can we add that automation, how can we take that automation online also. So that's the key thing we are discussing here. So that's the Industry 4.0. And in Industry 4.0, here comes the concept of additive manufacturing. So additive manufacturing, you can see in big 8 or big 9 ideas which are related to 4IR, additive manufacturing is one of them. You can see it here. I think you can see that. So additive manufacturing is one of the idea which is highly related to industries, because either you are from any type of industry, maybe you are from service industry, maybe you are food industry, any type of industry. Definitely you need something physical to work in the field. So maybe if you are a service industry, you are serving something differently, you need some systems, you need some laptops, you need some devices. So that plays a very huge role in the growth of manufacturing industry. So we normally said that China is definitely the leader in that, but why China is the leader in that? Because they took that prototyping in a very specific manner. Can we create small prototyping industries? Can we create small, you can say, manufacturing shops? We don't need to go for a bigger industry specifically for manufacturing. Can we do it small? And that small is the key to the success of China. And I think that's my personal opinion, that nobody in world can miniaturize things like Indians. We Indians are very, very good in that. So if we can miniaturize most of the thing using Jugaad technologies, why can't we miniaturize the manufacturing industry? So if we can do that, definitely that's the key to the future. We can manufacture our goods, we can give jobs to lot of different person, and also we don't need to import corona with lot of goods from China. So that miniaturization of industries is a very, very key factor in our economic growth. And how to miniaturize the industry, that's a very, very key thing for that is additive manufacturing. So if we can set up a range of 3D printers, if we can develop 3D printers, if we can think about the concepts behind that, I think Mr. Rajesh in the last session was discussing that. A very, very great, I think, view which Mr. Rajesh has shared. So that's the key behind small manufacturing stations which we can develop, or small manufacturing industries which we can develop in India. And I'm not talking about only which is related to service or goods. You can think about biotech. I have seen a printer when I was in Japan. So I've seen a printer which can print tooths. So you can print your denture also using that 3D printer. So that's great. In fact, I told you that when we were making drone, we bought a 3D printer and we started making drone parts from them. And that was definitely a very, very you can say economical manufacturing which helped us in making our drones in a lesser cost than even from China. So we haven't developed a lot of drones yet, but yeah, the final cost was much less than what we can get it from what we normally pay in China for that drones. So this additive manufacturing is the key, as you can say, in developing small manufacturing industries, and that small manufacturing industries can play a very, very big role in Indian GDP. But here comes the catch. So yes, you can manufacture, but who is going to design that? How many BDEs are there to design the product? How many product designers are there? How many you can say UX designers are there? How many in fact fine art people are there who are going to design your product? Yes, that's the problem. We don't have skilled manpower in that area. We have a lot of engineers, we have a lot of MCAs and computer developers, software engineers, but we have very less number of that design people who can think and who can create some designs which is sustainable and as of for utility of and it's good for utility of common man. So there we need to think hard and we need to create that resource, that skilled manpower, so that we can apply that in our small manufacturing industry, miniature manufacturing industry, and from there we can push our GDP. So that's the chain you can think. That's a supply chain you can think of related to this area. So what if we don't have a lot of design engineers? Is there any small module which we can include in something which we can include in our normal education, maybe management education, maybe engineering education, and we can teach them a basic level of design? Yes, there is, and that's design thinking. So now you can think how all these things are related. So if you want to grow Indian GDPs, you need manufacturing sector. If you want manufacturing sector to be strong, you need to focus on additive manufacturing. And if you want that additive manufacturing to be a strong field, you definitely need to create manpower who know about design thinking. And that's why all these fields are very, very interrelated. And that's what I said, I will discuss the sweet spot between all of them. And I think everybody now knows, after some great sessions from Utkarsh, everybody knows here what's design thinking is and what's the process. So even then I will cover it in a brief. So there is this 5 steps specifically for design thinking, and it's empathize, define, test, prototype, and ideate. And that's a cycle. After ideate also you need to test. You need again to think about the problem. Have I solved that problem? You need to again define that in details. You need to again test your prototype. And if not good, then you need to develop a different prototype and then ideate. It looks very good. The concept wise, it's great. But can we do that again and again? Is it possible? For example, we are a big manufacturing industry, and we came with an idea of anything, maybe bottle of a sanitizer, and somebody said that's just not good. So we have developed mold for them. We have developed an injection molding plant for them. Are we going back to the drawing boards and creating again and changing all the design patterns, all the you can say industries to generate a different design? Are we going to change our flow? Are we going to change our machines? Definitely no. Same with cars. I think you have seen that lot of automobile, that car design failed when launched in India, because people didn't accept the same design which are there in different countries, in different foreign countries. So that's not very good, very sustainable for India. They didn't accept it then. There are some very good products from very good companies which were rejected by Indian customers altogether, because the first thing, they didn't follow the basic principle. The second thing, they didn't follow this design thinking approach. And the third thing, they don't have capacity, or they don't have what we can say thought process to check the prototype again and again and to change it again and again, because it's a big manufacturing industry and big plants are there, and to change them is very tough. So what to do? So that the best idea is to create small prototypes, to test them, and if they are not functioning as per your requirement or as per your customer's requirement, change them. Change the design, do the prototyping again, come back to the drawing board. After the prototype, launch it again, or maybe do a beta testing again, give it to some customers and try to develop that again. And this is not a new process. So if you are related to software engineering, I think everybody knows that agile methodology of doing that. So agile is also very important, that, and so normally startups follow that model. Come with a prototype, develop a MVP, minimum viable product on that, and go to customers. And they will see, and they will definitely give you some ideas to update that product. And after that, go back to drawing board, change that if that's not very good, and do a prototyping again. So there's in softwares, it's very easy because you need to write codes. Writing a code is much, you can say, a much tedious task, or you can write code at much lesser cost than manufacturing. But in manufacturing, that's very tough task. So what's the solution? Solution is 3D printing. Go for additive manufacturing. You can build that prototype of that thing. You can build miniatures of that thing. Especially if you are in prototyping, if you are in manufacturing, because I think service industry can do that at a lower cost, but not manufacturing. So I'm solving that problem for manufacturing industry. To do that design thinking process, do a prototype, test it, do a beta testing, same as software engineering, and yeah, voila, you can change that design in a very less cost, and launch the final design, which according to you is good, which according to your customers are good. So that innovation was brought by design thinking, specifically in manufacturing sector. And 3D printing also supports this design thinking in a very innovative manner. So if you want to do this using traditional methods, definitely it's not possible because wastages are huge. So for example, in subtractive manufacturing, if you want to build a screw like this, you need to remove all the parts from the block which you have to, and it's a lot of if you want to build a screw, you need to remove around 80% of parts from that block of metal. So that 80% is wastage. Again, if you want to do that prototyping, if you want to make 100 prototypes, 100 change prototypes, it's very tough for you to make a lot of prototypes because wastage is huge. And not only it's very tough in case of thought process, and it's not only very costly, but wasting so much resources, especially for a country like India, is a crime. We don't have a lot of resources, so we need to save them also. So there comes the process of additive manufacturing. So start with nothing. Don't bring any block or metal. Just gradually start adding layer after layer to make a X thing. So wastages are quite low. Yeah, wastages are there, but it's very less because we are trying to make a thing out of nothing. So definitely, if you can produce something out of nothing, wastages definitely is very less. And that's the case what I was discussing when I was discussing this prototyping. So start creating, experiment, fall cheap and fast. So fall fast means if you don't success, then change it. Again, no success, then change it. So if you want to do that in a cheaper method, in a cheaper way, go for additive manufacturing. So I think that's a very nice thing to do. If government is making industrial clusters, they can call a company which is expertise in this 3D manufacturing, set up a lab or set up a center over there. And if anybody wants to build some prototype, go to them, get some prototype to be done, try to test it, and if it's not good, go back to the drawing boards again. So that's the key, and that's done by two things, not only the prototyping but design thinking. Because you are designing that thing, you are making that innovation. The framework of innovation, the cradle for innovation is design thinking, and the furnace is that additive manufacturing. So that's two things which can collaborate and make a very great difference in this manufacturing industry. So if you are talking about manufacturing industries, and if you are talking about 4IR, you can see in three things can be changed using additive manufacturing and design thinking. The first is obviously that additive manufacturing idea. It means we can rapid prototype, we can create objects in various shape and sizes, and so on and so forth. The second thing, we are trying to combine physical and computational items. How to combine that? That knowledge is coming from design thinking, because there are two types of, I think, employees in industry, especially in manufacturing industry. One who know how to manufacture, and the second who know how to design. but collaborating between the two is very, very tough task. So there comes the idea of design thinking. So if both of them knows the concept of design thinking, they can work in tandem. And hence, you can see a cyber physical system is coming up, which consists a lot of softwares and collaboration tools, and a concept of design thinking working the backwards, which can collaborate, which can bring that team together, and then they will try to make a system, a thing, a product which is useful for customers. And not only that, if you follow that principle, if you follow the processes which are there in design thinking, you can automate it also. So this brings the key idea of automation of automation and robotics also of 4IR in this field. So you can see just they are the blocks, but when when you are going to use those two blocks, the design thinking and additive manufacturing, they are bringing a lot of new things. They are bringing ideas of cyber physical systems. They are bringing ideas of automation and robotics, and several different capabilities also. So our top layer of manufacturing, you can see, which is there in 4IR, is going to be solved by using these two technologies. And that's why manufacturing sector is praising it a lot. That's why manufacturing sector is searching for skilled manpower in these two areas. And if you know both the areas, then that's great. What in Hindi we say is "Sone pe suhaga." So that's cherry on the cake. So that's great. So that's why this amalgamation is very, very necessary, and we need to develop our thought process in such a manner we can not only think like a design thinking person, but also we are able to implement that in real life. So how that amalgamation is going to work? So it's like this. So there is some 4IR related tech. Specifically, I'm talking about manufacturing. There are some additive manufacturing tech, and there are some design thinking like related processes or framework. And these we need to mix these things up. And the sweet spot is very good for manufacturing startups. This and the amalgamation of additive manufacturing, 3D printing, and design thinking is very good for education sector. Yes, when I talk about education sector, so everybody thinks about he's talking about education sector, design thinking, additive manufacturing. Is it even possible to apply additive manufacturing in education, to apply design thinking in education? Yes, it's possible. Lot of countries are doing that. Lot of companies are doing that. In India also, there are some very, very good e-learning companies which are designing their pedagogy or instruction material using design thinking. Not only that, some companies are trying to implement that process in 3D manufacturing also, so that they can make a small blocks or make a small instructional design items for the students. So that's very, very interesting thing. So you can see this 4IR tech is coming. The additive manufacturing is coming on the board. Design thinking is coming on the board, and that sweet spot is being created, and that's very, very necessary for manufacturing and startup. Not only for them. If you combine only design thinking and additive manufacturing and leaving fourth industrial revolution, also, then also you can do something good for education. So let's try to discuss all the things in detail. I think I have laid a base for that, so that now you can relate. You can relate the case studies which I will tell you. You can relate the ideas, and you can relate the startup ideas which I'm going to tell you. So any questions till now? So okay, this normally happens in the session after lunch. So I think that's the effect of lunch on us. So anyway, no issues. Let's move towards the next slide. So these are some key benefits of additive manufacturing in manufacturing sector. So I'm only trying to relate two things: AM and manufacturing, and the processes are completed by design thinking. So how to do that? This manufacturing can use DT and AM. I will use now short forms. So DT is for design thinking and AM is for additive manufacturing. So this AM and DT can facilitate manufacturing in 3 ways. And you can say it can solve 3 big problems of manufacturing industry. The first is design. So design teams can experiment with creating more complex geometric shapes and structures because we have the flexibility of 3D printing technology. Not only that, you are going through the process of design thinking. So if somebody came that I need this, some client is saying that I need some complex geometric shape, you can ask questions. You can ask are you taking care of empathy of your customers or not? So that's there with you. So and if you are ready, then design according to that. And if you are in design team, then design according to that and show it to your prototyping team. And then prototyping team has the capability and flexibility of 3D printer, so they will print that. After printing, you can take that ideas, you can take that product back to your customer and you can ask, is this the complex geometric shape you want? Yes, I want that. So go to the printing, go to the if it's low volume manufacturing, low volume production, go back to your 3D printers. If it's high volume manufacturing, go back to the manufacturing industry. So that cycle you can repeat again and again. So you can try new designs. You can quickly make the prototype, and you can save a lot in low volume production. So it's now TQS. The 3 steps are TQS for manufacturing, where we can use design thinking and additive manufacturing, and we can take our take our industry forward. So 3 specific problem solved: design, prototyping, specifically for accelerating the design cycles and reducing the cost. And if it's not good, companies are free to fail fast in a controlled environment and explore multiple models. So again, I talked about a lot of failures in automobile sector. So that failures can be captured. So it's like free. Companies are free to fail fast and without spending a lot or without taking a big hit in terms of money. The third is low volume production. So the saving is due to low volume production. So you can remember it like TQS. TQS, which can benefit manufacturing sectors using AM and DT. Lot of short forms now. AM, DT, TQS. Lot of confusion. So anyway, you can remember these things. So how to implement that? How to implement? So if we have legacy manufacturing plant, is it possible to do that? Yes, it's possible to do that. And here I will tell you a very important concept at the end of this slide. So please focus on this. So you can start with your legacy manufacturing. You can shift to transformation AI. You can shift to that initial ideas of 4IR tech, where you can add some small 3D printers in your company for prototyping. After that, you can hire a design team. If the design team is there, you can skill your design team and manufacturing team. You can try to collaborate them. You can make them sit in a class and learn design thinking. And there where a lot of opportunities are for faculty who are attending this. So you can go to industries, tell them, I know design thinking, I know additive manufacturing, and I'm ready to take sessions for your design team. I'm ready to take sessions for your manufacturing team. And if they can both collaborate, they can do wonders. So not only that, not only your industry is going to change, but you are going to change new business models altogether. For example, there is a business model named as factory as a service. It's not very famous in India, but in Europe and different developed countries, it's coming in a big manner. So you can make your own, you can set up your own industry, you can have your own manufacturing industry, in which the manufacturing is not concentrated on a specific domain. So you can buy an array of 3D printers and then again send the links to different obviously market them, sell, and go to different companies and tie up with them. So if that companies or that manufacturing sector wants to build something, your printers will be online, and that's also possible using again IoT and cyber physical system. So they can directly upload their files, and your printer will print, and there's an automatic supply chain which will courier them to that company. So you need not to do anything. Everything will be automated. Just upload your design, it will be get printed, and you will get a courier of that. And nothing like it. So if you know someone in manufacturing industry, you can go and tell them that's possible, and he will be so happy. He will give you some awards like that, because that's the pain point of the industry. If I want to build something new, so once upon a time I consulted a transformer company. So they want to change a very small part in their transformer, and for that we need to design, and then it went to the manufacturing plant. A lot of steel has been wasted. They built something, they bought something and tried to fix in their old transformer, and that was not, you can say, not fixing. The size was not good. So they changed the size. Because the size changed, all the design changed, all the electrical, you can say, standards changed, and a lot of problems created. But again, they have done that. The design changed, the design went to manufacturing, and when that new part came, it's also not fitting with the old transformer. So that happens a lot. So if you will tell some design or manufacturing guys that that factory as a service is also possible, fast, you can say. The factory as a service is also possible, where you can just upload your design, and in the next few days you will get a courier of your design. So they will definitely jump. So is it possible? Yeah, great. So can we go for that? So that's idea for entrepreneurs, all the entrepreneurs out there, all the incubations out there, all the teachers who help the students for being entrepreneurs. If they can set up their factory as a service thing, specifically using 3D printers. So that's the basic idea. This idea is given by NASSCOM. The half of the slide is I've taken from idea of NASSCOM. That's a possibility. It's given by NASSCOM, means somebody somewhere in India is definitely working on it. Maybe in the next few months, specifically, because of the corona, all the digital transformations are on fast track. So in the next few months, you will see that some company or some startup is doing that. So that's for legacy manufacturing industry, and this is also true for startups. So I think everybody knows that the startups are working on a very agile domain. Startups are like they normally are very lean and try to make the product reach in the market very faster. So they have two spaces: the problem space and solution space. And problem space, defining the problem space, breaking it into multiple parts, can be solved by design thinking approach. You can see this is the approach which is design thinking, which is related to design thinking. That's so you can break that problem space into multiple parts using that design thinking approach, and the solution part can be captured by 3D printing, especially if you are in product space, not service space. So you can do all the build, measure. You can learn by your failures, and you can derive a market fit very fast using this 3D printing technology. So that testing part of design thinking can be drawn from there, bring it to the solution space, and it can be implemented by 3D printing ideas. And if you are related with any startup, you will definitely enjoy that. So in the last slide, I told that if you are related to manufacturing industry, you are going to enjoy this. And if you are related to startup industry, you are going to enjoy this. Your problem space is solved, your solution space is solved. So MVP, definitely you can go for MVP quite very fast, and you can go for acquiring customers very fast. MVP means minimum viable product. So the journey from ideation stage to prototype to MVP to acquiring customers will be so fast you can't even imagine. So all these unicorns have taken around 3 years, 4 years from ideation stage to MVP. Unicorns, I think everybody knows unicorns. The startups which are around $1 million. So on $1 billion. This journey can be covered in a very less time if you are going to use design thinking methodologies and additive manufacturing methodology. So your problem space is solved, your solution space is solved, and just go to launch your product in the market. So I think this now everybody knows about this problem space and solution space. If you don't know that, there is a book of Dan Olson, specifically Lean Product Playbook. Try to go through that. It tells very detailed things about startups, and in that book you will learn that without using these two words of design thinking and additive manufacturing, the author is talking about these technologies. So definitely the solution space is where the products, services, and experiences that fulfill users' needs live. And lean startups live entirely in the solution space. So and they also capture the methodologies like total quality management and Six Sigma and Agile. The problem space is where the users and their needs live. So the product is in problem space, and the solution, the product is on the solution space. The users and their needs are in problem space. So you need to add them. You need to think both. You need to think from both sides, and their DT and AM is going to help you. So this is about legacy manufacturing, big manufacturing units, and startups. But what about teachers? We all are teachers here. I'm also a teacher. You also are a teacher. So is this DT or AM or maybe one of them going to help us in teaching also? Yes, it can help you in teaching also. So now you can see that I'm capturing the part of, again, the same type of slides which Utkarsh used. So empathy is the first part, and in that you can think, who are your students? What matters to them? So that's you are trying to connect with your students. Try to build relationship. Try to build same issues. For example, when I was a student, normally I always sit on the back bench. So when I'm teaching, I try to question all the backbencher students. Can you answer this? Can you answer that? They are fed up with me. So I can do that here also. So because all the participants are now behaving as the backbenchers. Nobody is answering questions. Nobody is asking anything. So definitely you need to relate. You need to relate because you at one point in your past you were also a student, so you can relate. Definitely, empathy is there. Using that empathy, you can design lessons that will help those students. So you can observe, interact, and ask questions. You can ask questions to students, and on the basis of that, you can step out of your comfort zone and allow and design something and think something. For example, once upon a time, I have used a different assessment technique. So I think everybody has seen that word puzzle sort of thing. So I've tried to use that for assessment. So I've asked students, what's the problem? Why are you worried with assessment? So they said that we need to write a lot of things. Very detailed answers are needed. So can we compress them? One idea, you can go for MCQs, but MCQs are like run of the mill. Everybody can mug them up and give the answers in the exam. So what to do that? So I've used a different type of word quiz, and you can also use them. So that's the sort of prototyping which I have done. I have tested that on the students, and some of the students doesn't like that, so I changed the idea, and that's why we are testing, etc. So this design thinking idea can be implemented in teaching also. You can empathize with them, you can test ideas, you can build a prototype, you can take risk, you can try new ways of teaching. So nobody of us, most of the teachers relied on chalk and talk methodology when delivery of classes came. So from last 2 years, that talk and talk is totally abolished. Now we need to go online. We need to think about something for student engagement. For example, here also I know a lot of you are not engaged with the sessions. A lot of you are not still enjoying the session because you are in your comfort zone. I am in my own comfort zone. I also can ask a lot of questions. But I'm not doing that. Maybe different reasons are that I'm not doing that. So that thing can be done using a lot of different tools, lot of different activities, and a lot of different ideas which can be applied. In fact, some of the teachers have done that in a very innovative manner. I will tell you the idea. And after that, you can go and ask your students for the feedback, and again from prototyping you can go to empathy, again do testing, again do prototyping. So that's the plan where you can apply that design thinking in teaching. And also you also need to think. You also need to think accordingly and design your teaching methods accordingly. So connections can be changed. The idea of connections are already changed in this Corona era. So connections can be changed. Delivery methodologies can be changed. You can think about new assessment techniques that I told you. So this DT can be applied in teaching areas also. So you can just click a picture of this and you can try to apply your learning in your teaching pattern itself, and you will definitely going to enjoy that. Yeah, it will take time. It will take a lot of brainstorming. You need to discuss this a lot with your colleagues, maybe seniors, but the final result which you will get is definitely you are going to enjoy that, and that's something which you can contribute to our teaching society. So that, yeah, please.
So this is Sakshi.
Yes,
I wanted to ask, like, the system which you have shown for this teaching, design thinking in teaching, like basically we are all college professors, but I think this model is being used from these days in some schools, like play schools and all. So they are being more creative. They are engaging students in different activities, so that all-round development of a child from the time of his learning beginning, they can understand it better.
Yeah, exactly. Very much right. Yeah. So
I think that's a good approach.
That's
a good approach, because since childhood only the child is able to be creative, create new ideas, get to new things. The creativity level of a child increases.
Great. Very much right, Sakshi ji. So why schools have done that and not higher education? Because we think that our customer is not going to what you can say teach us. So no student in second year is going to leave engineering because of this Corona. So that's because we have that in mind. We know the risks are very low. Hence, we haven't adopted it. But in schools, what happened? So if the student is in first or second, he can drop a school for 1 year. Doesn't matter. If he's even if he's in third and fourth, he can drop the school for 1 year. So the pressure is on the junior school students, or you can say junior school teachers. They are not thinking, if we can't engage, our customer is no longer will be connected with us, or maybe if our class consists of 60 students and 58 of the students leave our class, so our job will also be gone. So that fear made them think something new, and a lot of them adopted this design thinking. Maybe some of them know that I'm adopting this design thinking methodology, but most of them, without knowing the process, have adopted it. I have seen teachers, in fact, in UP, there are primary school teachers, government primary school teachers, who are doing very good in this. Just go on YouTube, you can search. There's a teacher in Africa. He teaches math by using a song. He normally develops songs and poems for all the concepts and the formulas in math. So that's also a design thinking approach, empathizing.
Sir, I think Byju's is a very good example for this.
Byju's is a very good example, yeah. But when I will take name of Byju's, everybody will say कि, it's a very costly thing. They can do that, and we are not in that domain. But that's not true. That's why I'm taking name of UP government schools. So they are doing that. They are doing that very good. I met a teacher of physics who is there in UP government, and again a teacher of 4th, 5th class, and he has devised several new methodologies to teach physics in his class. So that's very good. A teacher of physics of Kendriya Vidyalaya is also doing that. So definitely we also need to think here. We also need to apply the learnings which we are getting out there, or maybe the concept of design thinking in teaching. And you will, yeah, please, Sachin.
Sir, I wanted to like tell you that this approach also has a constraint. I think that the teachers feel it a bit difficult to engage with the new technology. Like when the traditional teaching approach was being used, like chalk duster and everything, boards and all, blackboards and chalk duster, then the smart classes came into picture, and the teachers found it difficult to accord with the technology.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I have written a thing over there. This is not my you can say image. I have taken it from there, but you can see a very nice thing is here. You need to step out of your comfort zone, and that's a key. That's a key in design thinking also. If companies are not getting out of their comfort zone, it will be very tough for them to implement that. And then that's why they are doing something in design thinking. They are applying that, trying to make new products, and we are enjoying new products. You can see what are the changes in designs of mobile, how handy mobiles are nowadays. Initially they were quite bulky. It's very tough to use them, specifically when we are talking about touch screens. Initially there were number pads. It was very tough to use them. Now they also have thought something new, and they are now reaping the benefits of that. All the Apples and Samsungs, so you can see that they have done something very good in design, and they are reaping the benefits. Hence, we teachers can also do something good here, and you can also reap the benefit of your hard work at a specific point of time in future, maybe.
Anyway, so this corona situation has emphasized on getting out of the comfort zone. All the teachers, not every one of us was used to this online teaching method. So most of the teachers, they did not even know how to use this online mode for giving lectures.
No, they are trying to learn that, and definitely I have seen that a lot of teachers bought laptop nowadays. They bought mobile for them, mobile for their child also, because they are also going through some class. So everybody is now ready to learn, ready to invest. But that happened because Corona pushed us. So definitely, if we have done that without any push or without any need, so that was much appreciable, and the benefits were much more higher than that. Anyway, I think digital transformation is now currently forced by Corona, and that's why it's happening very fast. So we also need to adopt, and to adopt that, this design thinking concept is very necessary. Try to apply that in your day-to-day life also. You will see this process is very good. In fact, you can apply it in your relationships. So you can empathize, you can plan, you can come out of comfort zone. Maybe you can think something great about your spouses, children. Can we do something for them? Can we change our behavior? Can we derive something? And if it's not working, can we change? If our approach is not working, can we change? So that can be applied in personal life also. But I'm not sure about that, but I'm sure about teaching. If I'm going to apply that in teaching, it's definitely going to do wonders in your process. So that's a basic idea of that. Let's try to discuss some use cases. So everybody was thinking it's all gyan, and nothing is nothing is real, but that's not like that. A lot of different ideas are there, a lot of different implementations are there, a lot of different companies are there who are using that, and let's try to discuss that. So just give me one minute. So the first use case is related to startups. So so this is a company which is Start US, and it's normally gives on site on different processes, different startups. And I went to their site and they have named 5 startups. One of them is specifically in India, Festive. So these startups are working in additive manufacturing, and they are growing very, very fast. And when I discussed this, why are you? What's the difference between other additive manufacturing startups and Festive? So somebody from Festive told that they are following design thinking methodologies. So these all companies, for example, Tissue Life, has developed a 3D printer which has from which you can design, we can print tissues. So Orange is in iron, you can say, or steel 3D manufacturing. Their printers are capable of making steel items also. Same way, Wayland is related to 3D printing, specifically for industrial arena in Ireland. Exos is in Italy, and they print a very niche design things using their 3D printer. Tissue labs are in tissue culture and printing tissues. Festive is an Indian company which works in this domain. Specifically, normally what they do is they are in 3D printing. So this is these are the 5 startups which are gaining a lot of traction, specifically in this area. And the idea behind this is 3D print. This idea behind is design thinking. So you can see how startups are nailing that. So they have some innovations in mind, they have products and services in mind, and they have customers also. They need to reach their customers, so they are following this methodology. They are now using this design as a bridge between them and their customers. So they are trying to go to their customers by using this design thinking as a bridge. So definitely they are trying to do a lot in their design thinking. They are trying to innovate a lot in their patterns, how to achieve, how to go to customers, how to design our products and services, so on and so forth. And I tell this a lot. It's not necessary that using design thinking you need to make some product. You can apply this on your services also. So there are a lot of fintech companies which have applied this idea in their services, and they're doing very good. Let me talk about a real life example. So there is a company named as Distinct Horizon. So what they have made this machines which are useful for farmers. So they are manufacturing them, and they are giving it to farmers. So what this machine does, so if you want to apply fertilizers, if you want to apply seeds on your farms, you can use this machine. So if you will use this machine, you need to apply 20% less fertilizers, and your production will also be increased by 20%. So a lot of benefits for farmers, benefits for environment. So using less fertilizer definitely is bringing a lot of benefits for environment also. So now they have used design thinking approach to make that. They have surveyed a lot of farmers. They have made a lot of machine prototypes, and they also have used additive manufacturing. For example, these parts. For example, these parts they have used additive manufacturing, specifically filter over there. They have made that part using 3D printing. So they have collaborated their design thinking and 3D printing to make their prototypes, and hence they are enjoying currently their products, and farmers are enjoying their products. So they have been funded by UN, United Nations, and they got funding of around 2.5 crore rupees for their startups. And that's just because their design approach is good, their manufacturing approach is good. So that's an Indian startup, especially started in Hyderabad, doing a lot of work in UP, and I'm also a part of their advisory team, and they're doing a great job, especially for farmers. So the dream of Indian government of doubling the income of farmers are on the shoulder of these type of startups, who can do wonder in machine equipments and maybe food processing, etc. So that's an Indian startup. Apart from that, A lot of unicorns, a lot of industries out there who are working on this type of things. So here I'm using service industry for an example of design thinking, not an example of additive manufacturing. So Airbnb innovative its initially Airbnb was a failed startup, but they have changed, they have transformed their journey using design thinking methodologies, and now everybody knows about Airbnb. It's $1 billion business. Same Netflix stayed ahead of their competition by following a design thinking process. So if you think why Netflix is doing very good, you can think just a simple word: empathizing with their audience. In fact, they predict their customer preferences using this empathizing method. Third is a big company, Home Depot. Again, a classic example of how design thinking can derive manufacturing area. And Home Depot is also planning to use 3D manufacturing. In fact, for some parts of the item, they are still using that. And that's why these unicorns or these big industry are playing a big role in propagating the idea of DT plus AM. I will also take an example of a very, very big chemical company, the global specialty chemical leaders, Neuron. And Neuron has applied this design thinking approach in a very, very big manner. And according to Neuron, the user engagements has increased. In fact, they started with one plant, and now they have taken the idea of DT plus AM in 23 of their plants. So all their plants consist of some type of 3D printers, and also using that 3D printer, you need to follow that design thinking methodology. So they told that they specifically, I've gone through this in one of the prominent newspapers. So they told that newspaper that they are growing very fast due to application of that area. So user engagement has increased. The integrity of data being produced is infinitely more reliable because they are not sending now data, now their designs to third party. They are trying to build prototype in-house, and that's why reliable data. Their manufacturing excellence process is also adhered to because they are doing that in-house. So that idea changed their processes a lot, and you can see from startups, from Indian startups, to unicorns, to world level unicorns, and also to companies, big companies like Neuron. Everybody is trying to use this amalgamation of design thinking and additive manufacturing. So in education also, so somebody said that yes, school education is using this a lot. So I have some ideas related to school education itself. So for example, this problem solving lessons using fairy tale and 3D designs. That's a very niche thing done by one school in US. So what they normally do, they normally tell a fairy tale to students. For example, the Three Little Pigs. So in that Three Little Pigs, somebody came and destroyed that house of Three Little Pigs. So now the problem statement is the big bad wolf can blow down the houses. So what you can do, you need to design a house, you need a house so strong so that it can be easily blown down. So that's a problem statement given to students, especially class 5th and class 6th students. So they designed a house, they followed some basic steps, and on the basis of they designed a house, and after that they printed that. So that's also a great idea used by school education. So I'm not saying that you can use it in all the aspects of higher education, but yes, especially for first year student, you can teach them how to solve the problem. And if they can solve the problem, if they can design something, you can give a printout to them. So that will definitely motivate them. Yeah, that's the thing which you can do. Same with you can or maybe junior teachers can use a lot of fairy tales to give idea of design thinking to students and try to print their designs using 3D printer. So again, there are some sheets available on net. You can see these sheets are for students. You can also use it in your classrooms. So you can give the questions like, who are you trying to help? What are their needs? They can write answers. Same way, they can use this canvas. They can use these sheets to write their design thinking problems. and try to implement that in real life. So that's the education part, and the company has done survey in schools, and they told that, and in fact the result is that if you are using 3D printing, it improves the design thinking in the school, and if you are using design thinking, it improves the thought process of the school. So that's a use case in teaching. So definitely I told you how to implement teaching, how to implement design thinking in teaching. So definitely you can use design thinking in teaching, and if you are trying to make so if you are trying to teach how to make some product, you can give a small prototype also by printing out from 3D printer. So you all can either motivate your education colleges or maybe schools to buy 3D printers. Now they are very less costly. It starts from 15,000-16,000 odd rupees. So that's not a very big investment to do. But when you will try to use that, when you will try to amalgamate with design thinking, you will see the difference. The difference how students connect with your ideas, how students appreciate your ideas, and so on and so forth. Some more in US, one school tried to help, implement that with cerebral palsy girls, and that these girls were able to design something. You can definitely, that's very fascinating. These girls with cerebral palsy were able to design something using design thinking methodology, and they have printed also. They have solved a problem. Not only solving a problem, they have made something physical out of it also. Apart from that, what the school tried to do, not in Corona time specifically, have created a personalized small bag tags for students, and that tags were designed by student itself, not for ourselves, but normally what they try to do, they try to do some random sampling sort of thing. So, for example, Deepak Singh is trying to design a tag for Dr. Pritam Suman, and he needs to get the idea of Dr. Pritam Suman, what color he likes, how that shape is like, and so on and so forth. And that increased the connect between the students. So that's also a method of making teams, teaching them how to work in teams and how that team spirit is there. Apart from that, again, one school tried to print small dustbins or small equipments you can say dust pads to pick the dust, and they've used that to clean up local pollution. So motivated students to make their own device and gadgets, not device and gadget, but you can say things which can be helped in reducing the pollution and reducing the local garbage. Apart from that, a lot of industry has tried the design thinking process in industrial design. So you can design your instructions, you can design your teaching materials as per the design thinking process. So it's not necessary you need to apply 3D printing also, but you can think about, like, for example, if you want to create a document or you can say help document for students, so you need to think, can you relate that with a story? So if yes, you can design it according to a story and you can send it to students, and definitely students are going to like it. Empathizing is the key, and trying it again and again, and prototyping is the second best thing. So conclusion. So now there are some food for thoughts. So this is definitely an opportunity for all of you. So why design thinking companies exceed the market by about 200% for a few years? So they're growing by 200% in a year. Why this global 3D printing market is growing by 21% in 2020? 21% growth in 2020, specifically in Corona times. Great, huge achievements. So now they have around $12.6 billion market capitalization, despite the effect of COVID-19 pandemic. Why the space of global innovation in 4IR technology accelerated, especially during last decade? So 20% growth over there. So you can see these three fields are coming together and giving you a top rise of around 200%. And definitely, if you want to sustain this, if companies want to sustain this, they require a lot of talent. They require a lot of skilled manpower over there who can support that. So for that skilled manpower, you can definitely go and try something new. You can use these concepts which has been told in the elaborated in the FDP. Try to implement that. So this whole thing is not theoretical. Yeah, maybe you have gone through a lot of theory, but just take some concepts from that and try to implement that. Maybe in teaching, maybe in some startup, maybe you can work on some project with your students, and definitely sky is the limit. So this field is going to rise like anything in the next few years. So that's an opportunity for you, and I'm leaving on this note that definitely you need to work hard, you need to learn these skills, and definitely it will be very beneficial for you in the future, in the near future. I'm not talking about 5-10 years, maybe from 6 months to 1 year, you will see the changes which will be there in this industry. So with these words, I will sign off. So thanks for Dr. Pritam for inviting me here, and thanks for a nice interactive session here. So I think you have learned something from this session, and if you have learned something, you can drop a mail to Dr. Pritam related to that. If you want some help in instructional design, if you want some help in innovation related to this field, please drop a mail to Dr. Pritam Suman, and we are open for you. Thanks everyone. Thanks. Yeah, somebody asked a question. What is the encouragement given by government for a startup in design thinking and prototyping? So it's not only in design thinking and prototyping, Mr. Saranu. It's normally the government is trying to promote all the type of innovations in a startup. So if you have some innovative ideas over there where you can implement design thinking and where you can implement prototyping, a lot of funds are there. And if you want to buy 3D printers, there are Mudra loans, and there are different loans and grants given by government. So just you need to think some innovative idea, you need to build a team, and I think government is helping nowadays startups much more than any government and any time or any country. Thanks Tapasya ji for your place. Thanks Sally.
Sir, where can we find out, like,
Thank you, sir.
if someone
Yeah,
someone requires some kind of support, assistance, because we all, many of us are belonging to the government colleges only. So there we do not get such kind of infrastructure. So if we are, working on such kind of models and we need some kind of support, financial support, so where can we look for? And financial as well as technical support.
Great. So technical support, just drop a mail to Dr. Pritam and we are ready to help you. And if you are talking about infrastructure support, there are some very good schemes by AICTE, like a scheme is named as MODROPS, MODROBS. So you can apply on MODROPS, and that scheme is related to upgradation of your labs. You can apply there, you can buy some equipment from that lab. Apart from that, incubation centers are there. ATAL Incubation Mission is there. You can apply over there. Normally, all the state governments try to make incubation center, incubation labs in different colleges. You can apply over there. Last but not the least, there is a funding agency named as NSTDB, National Science and Technology Education Development Board. They also provide a lot of funds in different streams where you can apply. So that's related to infra and funds. If you want to need some, if you need some technical support, just drop a mail to Dr. Pritam Suman and we can discuss out something for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
So any other questions? I think somebody else was asking any question. So thanks. If there are no questions, thanks everyone for attending the sessions. Thanks for being a nice audience. And thanks Dr. Pritam Suman again.
Thank you, sir, for your nice session. So participants, you have attendance link. You can see that. And tomorrow at 10 o'clock, there is a session for heartfulness. So you must have attend that. So just log in 15 minutes before the session. That's the request, because every expert has to wait. Okay. So all the best. See you tomorrow all.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. The session was really good. and
Thanks
informative,
very much,
and
ma'am.
your practical knowledge really helped us out, and so there was no question at all.
No issues, ma'am. You can, if you have any questions in the future, or if you want my assistance anywhere, just drop a mail to Dr. Preetham Suman. So don't think about any financial things. We will ready to help. We are ready to help free of cost also. So drop a mail to Dr. Preetham Suman for that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Sure, sir. Whatever mail I will get, I will forward to you.
Thank you. Thanks, doctor.